Picture this, you're standing in your kitchen, coffee's cold, phone's on silent, and the for sale sign on your lawn, it's starting to rot into the dirt. That's Hamilton 2025. No buyers, not for you, not for your neighbor, not for the guy who swore he'd hold until spring. Most of you watching this will still wait. You'll believe in fairy tales, you'll hope the spring market rescues you, and then you'll call me when you've already lost 6 figures. Sir, unfortunately, your house is only worth 600 grand. Oh my God, how could he ever tell me it's only worth 600 grand? I told you to do this earlier, and you made the choice to wait because your crystal ball and the degree in economics that you never got told you that the market would come back next spring. I'm sorry, but it didn't. I don't want that for you. This isn't a slowdown, it's a suffocation. Buyers didn't just leave, they vanished. And in 2021, they lined up down the block. Offers 100K over asking. Agents fist bumping like they just won the lottery. Now, it's like throwing a party that nobody shows up to. Lights on, music blaring, and you're alone, wondering, where did everyone go? Here's the brutal truth. If you're waiting for a comeback, you're not waiting for a rebound, you're waiting for the crash cart because your equity is flatlining. Active listings through the roof, sales falling off a cliff, average days on market tripled, and still, what do you hear? The market's shifting. We've hit the bottom. Upturns just around the corner. No, that's the kind of talk you hear when someone's drowning, still insisting they're fine because their nose is an inch above water. The truth, this isn't about timing the market, this is about survival. And survival doesn't mean hold on, it means move now. Think about this. You wouldn't sit in a burning house because you hoped the fire would change its mind. That's exactly what homeowners are doing in Hamilton, hoping the flames cool off while the walls collapse around them. I've seen it firsthand. A seller clinging to 2021 prices, now 100K underwater. Another waiting for spring activity, only to realize that spring brought more listings, not buyers. It's happening everywhere. Condos down 25 to 30% since the peak. Detached homes shaving off tens of thousands every single quarter. The longer you sit there, the deeper the hole. And here's what almost no one admits. Buyers aren't coming back to rescue you. They're circling, silent, predatory, waiting for you to break. Every week I meet someone who says, we'll wait it out. Every time I watch them bleed more equity. It's not patience, it's financial suicide. If you're still watching, it means you already know. Something feels a little wrong right now. Something feels broken. And you're right. I'm going to say it with zero apology. I am the only one telling you the truth. Not the happy talk realtors, not the mortgage cheerleaders, me. Because the only way to save what's left is to move before the wrecking ball swings again. Hamilton's collapse hasn't even started. What you're seeing right now, that's just the warm-up. Think about this. We're only 2 years into this downturn. And already average homeowners are bleeding 50, 100 grand. That's not the bottom, that's the appetizer. The main course, it's still being prepped in the kitchen. History tells the story. 1989 to 1996, values did not bounce. They cratered. People waited for the comeback and lost half their net worth. 7 years of pain, 7 years of regret. That's what waiting does. And the conditions today, they're even worse. Back then, debt loads were smaller. Back then, rates had more room to fall. Back then, immigration wasn't being used as a band-aid for a broken economy. Now, household debt is maxed. Rates are sticky, and immigration, it's pouring gasoline on the fire. More renters, not more buyers, so if you're sitting there thinking, I'll wait this out, do the math. If prices drop another 10%, and you're sitting on an $800,000 home, that's $80,000 gone, vaporized. Wait 2 years, another 20%, now you're down 160 grand. That's more than most people even save in a lifetime. That's your retirement, that's your kids' education, that's the dream shredded because you thought you were an economist and wanted to hold out for a better market. And don't tell me it can't happen. It's already happening. Condos are selling for 25% less than the peak. Some homeowners are writing 6-figure checks just to close a sale, bleeding out at the lawyer's office. That's not a dip, that's a massacre. And you know what makes it even worse? The psychology. Buyers smell blood. They see values dropping, they don't rush in, they wait, they circle, they sharpen their knives. That's why this isn't just economics, it's psychological warfare. And most sellers are losing, but you don't have to. Because once you see the trap, you can step around it. Here's what genius looks like. It's not praying for a rebound. It's not watching your equity evaporate month after month. It's moving while you still have a chance. Because every day you wait, your leverage weakens. Look at the power shift. In 2021, buyers had no control. They begged, they bid, they overpaid. Today, buyers control everything. They demand discounts, they dictate terms, and every seller who waits gives them even more power. If you knew how to read the future, which I'm sure 50% of you out there claim to, here's exactly what you'd see. More listings, fewer buyers, deeper price cuts until people panic. That's the capitulation phase. And when it hits, you won't just lose $50,000, you'll lose everything you thought you built. So let me ask you this. If you already know the market is bleeding, if you already know the slide isn't stopping, why would you sit there and watch your savings burn? That's the part nobody talks about. The cost of waiting isn't just financial, it's emotional, it's stress, it's sleepless nights, it's watching neighbors undercut your price until you break. That's the real torture, but you don't have to live through it. You can exit before the wreckage. You can cash out while you still have a chance. And before we continue on, let me remind you one thing. Most people will cling to hope, most people will drown, but if you're still watching, you're not most people. You're the minority who can handle the truth, and that makes you dangerous. Dangerous because you'll act, dangerous because you'll outsmart the herd, dangerous because you'll protect your equity instead of waiting for it to vanish. Here's why I'm telling you, the collapse isn't coming, it's already here. And the second wave, it's gonna make today look soft. If you're smart, you won't wait to find out how deep it gets. You'll move now, you'll take control, because the only thing worse than losing money is knowing you could have saved it and didn't. Hamilton isn't correcting, it isn't stabilizing, it's in full-blown collapse. And collapse doesn't look like a bad month. It looks like a slow-motion car crash. Metal twisting, glass shattering, screams you pretend you don't hear until your car is in the ditch. That's Hamilton right now. And if you think you're safe because you've only lost 15% so far, you're not safe. You're the frog in a boiling pot, and the heat keeps rising, and you won't notice until it's too late. Let's be crystal clear. The government isn't saving you, the banks aren't saving you, the media isn't saving you, realtors definitely aren't saving you. They're all standing there screaming from the rooftop, telling you that better days are ahead. Why? Because they're paid to do that. You need to believe the story so they can keep the system alive. But you don't play by their game. You can break out before they bleed you dry. Think about the money, not abstract, not percentages, your money. You own an $850,000 home, market slips 15%, that's $127,000 out the window. That's your SUV, that's your retirement account, that's the vacation you and your family always dreamed of going on. Wait 2 more years, now we're talking about $250,000 of losses. That's not equity disappearing, that's your blood, sweat, and tears torched. And here's the darkest part. Most of you watching this will still wait. You'll believe in fairy tales, you'll hope the spring market rescues you, and then you'll call me when you've already lost 6 figures. Sir, unfortunately your house is only worth 600 grand. Oh my God, how could he ever tell me it's only worth 600 grand? I told you to do this earlier, and you made the choice to wait because your crystal ball and the degree in economics that you never got told you that the market would come back next spring. I'm sorry, but it didn't. I don't want that for you. That's why I built this channel. Not to cheerlead, not to play nice, to tell the truth that no one else dares to. Because I've sat across from families who waited. I've watched their faces as they've realized that they're too late. I've seen tears at the closing table when they had to cut checks just to sell. You don't want that story. You want control, you want clarity, you want an exit plan before the wrecking ball swings back again. And that's exactly what I built this for. A free seller guide, step by step, how to package your home, how to market it to stand out, and how to avoid losing another 50 to 100 grand. Click the link below and grab it. And when you're ready for straight answers about your place, feel free to book a call with me, no pressure. You already know this market is ruthless, and the only thing more ruthless than this market is time. Don't let time steal your future. Act now, save what's yours, and avoid losing another 100 grand, because that money's yours.